विदेश मंत्रालय की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस देखे लाइव
from frontline Adampur airbase.
Okay, let me take these questions and then we'll come back for more. So Siddhant, regarding your question, as you are aware, we have a long-standing national position that any issues pertaining to the Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir have to be addressed by India and Pakistan bilaterally. That stated policy has not changed. As you are aware, the outstanding matter is the vacation of illegally occupied Indian territory by Pakistan. और people like मनीष, आपके लिए मैं हिंदी में रूपांतर कर दे रहा हूँ. हमारा लंबे अरसे से यही राष्ट्रीय पक्ष रहा है कि भारतीय केंद्र शासित प्रदेश जम्मू और कश्मीर से संबंधित किसी भी मुद्दे को भारत और पाकिस्तान को द्विपक्षीय तरीके से ही हल करना है. इस रीति में कोई बदलाव नहीं हुआ है. जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, लंबित मामला केवल पाकिस्तान द्वारा अवैध रूप से कब्जा किए गए भारतीय क्षेत्र को खाली करने का है. Siddhant, you had another question regarding ceasefire and what sort of role other countries played, etc. See, the specific date, time and wording of the understanding was worked out between the DGMOs of the two countries at their phone call on 10th May 2025, commencing at 15:35 hours. The Foreign Secretary had made a statement in this regard, as you would be aware. The request for this call was received by MEA from the Pakistani High Commission at 12:37 hours. The Pakistani side had initial difficulties connecting the hotline due to connecting to the Indian side due to technical difficulties. The timing was then decided based on the availability of the Indian DGMO at 15:35 hours. You will of course appreciate that early on 10th morning, we had mounted an extremely effective attack on key Pakistani Air Force bases. That was the reason they were now willing to stop firing and military action. Let me be clear, it was the force of Indian arms that compelled Pakistan to stop its firing. As regards conversations with other nations, the message from India was clear and consistent, and exactly the same message that we were conveying from public platforms was the one conveyed in private conversations. It was that India was responding to the 22nd April terrorist attack by targeting the terrorist infrastructure. However, if the Pakistani armed forces fire, Indian armed forces will fire back. If Pakistan stops, India will also stop. This was also the message that was conveyed to the Pakistani side at the time of the commencement of Operation Sindoor, which was not heeded to by the Pakistani side at that time. It is natural that many foreign leaders who heard this from us would have shared it with their Pakistani interlocutors. Jessica, you had a question on IWT. The other day you saw that after the CCS decision, this Indus Water Treaty has been put in abeyance. I would also like to take you back a little. The IWT, the Indus Water Treaty, was concluded in the spirit of goodwill and friendship as specified in the preamble of the treaty. However, Pakistan has held these principles in abeyance by its promotion of cross-border terrorism for several decades now. Now, as per CCS decision that I referred to of 23rd April, India will keep the treaty in abeyance until Pakistan credibly and irrevocably abjures its support for cross-border terrorism. Please also note that climate change, demographic shifts, and technological changes have created new realities on ground as well. Kandanvi had a question regarding trade matters. From the time of Operation Sindoor commenced on 7th May till the understanding on cessation of firing and military action on 10th May, there were conversations between Indian and US leaders on the evolving military situation. The issue of trade did not come up in any of these discussions. Siddhant, you had a question on the latest statement issued by the Pakistan Foreign Office. We have seen the statement made by the Pakistani side that a nation which has nurtured terrorism on an industrial scale should think that it can escape the consequences is fooling itself. The terrorist infrastructure sites that India destroyed were responsible not only for the deaths of Indians, but of many other innocents around the world. There is now a new normal. The sooner Pakistan gets it, the better it is. Shall we take more questions? Aditya?
Mr. Jaiswal, I have two quick questions. One, that some of the Indian diplomats who have given interviews abroad have said that India has electronic intercepts and gathered intelligence linking to Pahalgam attackers to the handlers, and they have been planning more attacks. So have you given any kind of this evidence to the foreign attaches and diplomats that were briefed today, and in the context of ambassadors also that were briefed earlier? And yeah, that's about it.
Megha?
Good evening, sir. Megha from Newsax. My question is that India, it's being reported, is going to be sending a team to the UNSC 1267 Sanctions Committee. The meeting is going to be held later in the week, and the purpose for it is to declare the TRF as a globally designated terrorist organization. If you could shed more light into this.
Okay. Rishabh?
Spokesperson, good evening. Rishabh from Times. Now, I have just two questions here. Pakistan Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar has given an interview to CNN, and where he has claimed success and suggested that India was keen to have the ceasefire. Your comments on that? Also, there are a lot of buzz on social media as well as in various international media about nuclear leakage in Pakistan. Can you shed some light on that as well?
Manas?
This is Manas from PTI. US President Donald Trump, again, he claimed yesterday that he stopped a nuclear conflict between India and Pakistan. And, he stopped escalation and saved millions of lives through, by reaching out to both capitals. He even said that, in fact, he pressured India and Pakistan to just come forward for the cessation of hostilities, saying then I will stop trade with both the countries. So can you please clarify whether he just reached out to us and asked us to stop? You have been maintaining that, in fact, the resolution was arrived at by two DCMOs, but have you just protested at US side for making these claims, which we consider are baseless?
Okay, let me take these questions. First, Aditya, your question. We have had several rounds of briefings, and in these briefings, we have also shared with you the kind of linkage we see between the perpetrators of the attack of Pahalgam, in particular the Resistance Front. Foreign Secretary in his statement also made very clear the kind of evidence that we see, and investigation is going on in this particular matter. You would have seen that TRF had taken responsibility, and then second day, twice they had taken responsibility, and thereafter, possibly at the behest of their handlers, they rolled it back. But TRF is one organization which is a front of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, and you would understand and perhaps be in the knowledge of it that we have been pursuing listing of TRF in the United Nations, by the United Nations Security Council, by the Sanctions Committee, UNSC 1267 Sanctions Committee. I'm not privy to what was shared 2 hours back, but for sure we'll update you on as to how the investigation progresses in this matter. Mega on UNSC 1267 Sanctions Committee. Yes, over the last 2 years or so, 23, 24, we have been sharing information with the United Nations Security Council, the monitoring team of the Sanctions Committee, as to why the terrorist TRF, which is the front for Lashkar-e-Taiba, should be listed as a terrorist entity. We will be also, in few days' time, we will be sharing more details in this regard, and hopefully Security Council 1267 monitoring team will take strong note of what we present, what we file, and take due action against that is required. Rishabh, on your question regarding the interview that the Pak Foreign Minister gave. In the last week, as a result of Operation Sindoor, Pakistan has seen its terror centers in Bahawalpur, Murudke, Muzaffarabad, and other places destroyed. You have been informed of it in several of the briefings that we've had. Thereafter, its military capabilities were significantly degraded by us, and key air bases effectively put out of action. If the Pakistani FM wishes to project these as achievement, obviously he is welcome to do so. Where India is concerned, our stand was very clear and consistent from the start. We would target terrorist infrastructure operating out of Pakistan. If the Pakistani military stayed out, there would be no problem. If they fired on us, we would respond suitably. Till the night of 9th May, Pakistan was threatening India with a massive assault. Once their attempt failed on 10th May morning, and they received a devastating Indian counter response, their tune changed, and their DGMO eventually reached out to us. I just referred to the timings, etc., as to when they reached out. In essence, India's position remained the same. Pakistan's position changed on 10th May morning after its air bases were effectively put out of action. All you have to do is to look at who called who to negotiate the terms of the cessation of firing. By the way, we are living in a day and age where you have satellite pictures available commercially. I urge you to look at the satellite pictures of the sites which Pakistan says or claims to have attacked in India. Contrast it with the sites and places which we successfully targeted and destroyed. That will give you a clear answer. Claiming victory is an old habit. 1975 की बात यही थी, 71 की बात यही रही, 1999 करगिल वॉर में भी यही राग आलापा. तो पाकिस्तान का तो पुराना ये उनका ढोल बजाने का है, जो रवैया है, आलापने का रवैया है, ढोल बहुत पुराना है. परस्त हो जाओ लेकिन ढोल बजाओ.